What's the future of Harden and the Clippers?
At best, a first-round exit from the playoffs. And that's just being nice because I'm in a very good mood. I don't want to hurt their feelings. I mean, I looked at the Intuit Arena, which is pretty spectacular, by the way. I would encourage everybody to go see it. But I damn sure can't sit here and say the same about the Clippers. It's not much to cheer about. When you think about Paul George being gone, when you think about the worst superstar in the history of the sport, that is Kawhi Leonard, sitting on the bench, and then all you have to rely upon is James Harden and a bunch of other parts that are to be respected, the Powers of the world, the James Hardens of the world, the Terrence Manns of the world. These guys, they can play. They're not scrubs or anything, and I applaud the coaching staff and what have you, but we know what this is supposed to be about. It was supposed to be Kawhi Leonard's team, and anytime you make that kind of decisions, it's an unmitigated disaster that's in route. It's just that simple, because number one, he's going to be hurt half the time, and number two, he's going to do absolutely positively nothing to promote your franchise or the sport. And we saw evidence of that yet again last night. In the end, it's about James Harden being the face of this franchise at this particular moment in time, except as good as he is, because he is good, he's not the James Harden that existed in Houston all of those years. That was one of the most prolific scorers we've ever seen in the history of the game. Shot 10 of 28 from the field last night. There were several times, Brian, when I saw Terrence Mann and Powell and others open, but he was dribbling the basketball and didn't necessarily get it to them. And that's the thing. You see guys jumping around, asking for the ball. Sometimes he makes it. Sometimes he makes the right play. Sometimes he doesn't. It's not a crime. But in the end, for us to be here in Los Angeles, California, for the Clippers to be opening a new arena, and for us to have to look forward to James Harden being the face of the franchise at this particular moment in time, I look at the Clippers as being the team. They could be a 500 team. They could be an 8 seed. They could get to the play-in, potentially to the playoffs for the first round. But we know better than expecting more than that.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? This is B Jizzle of the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Welcome to the #1 LA Clipper podcast out there. We want to first give you guys a shout out, LA Clipper fan, LA Clipper Nations, for being here. Share this podcast with your family and friends. They will not be disappointed, but let's get it popping.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate. Choppers to throw away. Hustle to overweight. That's why they follow me, huh? They think I know the way. Cause I took control of things. Ballin' the solo way. And if you pattern my trend, I make you my protege. Flossing that soldier race. Niggas don't know them days. Take you in back of the buildings. Make you expose your rage. Take you across the tracks. Make you explode the face. Now you official now. But you got a soul to say. I just been cooking that new. I'm about to drop in a few. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth. I ain't really trip on the credit. I just paid all of my dues. I just respected the game. Now my name all in the news. Tripping on all of my moves. Quote me on this, got a lot more to prove. Remember I came in this bitch, fresh out the county with nothing to lose.
Nothing. No. Wanna count on you. But I don't do this shit for nothing. No, not at all. You, but my money ring, that you do, all year long. So I don't do this shit for nothing.
Rolling up some good, pulling up till we get faded. You know how we do it. Everybody take a flex on me. I got the keys to the city. I don't need no limousine. I turn up when I pull up. And tell my booking agent book a show. Running around with the paper bag. Running around with the paper bag. Going crazy spending all this cash. Going crazy spending all this cash. If I spend it, I'ma get it back. Even when I ride around dirty, a nigga don't need a seatbelt. A nigga don't need a seatbelt. Nah, it don't cost to keep it real. Run up, get done up. Shit can get real. Fuck around and get your ass rocked. Nigga, fuck around and take your shit. Got you asking God why. Drag your ass into an alley. Pull out aim for the target. Should've never been around the killers. In my town, we the fucking realest. No cheddar bars round here. I get the spray and they gon' get down. Ski mask over my face. Catch a body in broad day. Catch a body in broad day.
I got the key to the city. I got a hold of Sadiddy. Talk to that bitch in Swahili. Tattoo my name in graffiti. Whack out your hood in graffiti. Come through your hood on the weekly. None of y'all niggas can't see me. None of y'all niggas can't see me. Y'all ain't got nothing like this over there. Bunch of frontline millionaires. Bunch of self-made at the Trump bag. Guess the odds really took it there. Any problem, I'ma reappear. With a squad you already fear. All this time I've been playing fair. 7 digits every single year. Niggas die, niggas disappear. Alibis, I was really there. Life a crime till I get the chair. Columbine in my trigger hair. Still I rise and I took the stairs. Feel a fire, it's a different glare. All these fights, it was never fair. Busting knuckles, still I'm swinging fears. Taste the salt inside my dripping tears. You should know I never had a fear. You should know I never had a shot, never had a chance till I took it here. Man, it's proud, but I see it clear. Strategize, I'm an engineer. Pick a side, gotta keep it there. Switching up, nigga, looking weird. I got the key to the city. I got a hold of Sadiddy. Talk to that bitch in Swahili. Tattoo my name in graffiti. Whack out your hood in graffiti. Come through your hood on the weekly. None of y'all niggas can't see me. None of y'all niggas can't see me.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All of our YouTube videos. Hit that like button. Y'all coming in here, hit the share, subscribe, hit that Cash App. $ Slick Rick 1991 Son. $ Slick Rick 1991 Son for this great content we drop here on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, man. As well as our Venmo is at BJ/MATHEWS/1. That's Venmo at BJ/MATHEWS/1. That is our Venmo. And last but not least, also, if you guys have things that y'all want to donate, super stickers and super comments are available. It's very simple. All you guys got to do, hit that $ symbol that says right below the screen on the right-hand corner, and you can donate by hitting that in the chat box. But let's get it popping. All right, y'all. So game one is in the books. My LA Clipper fan base, my LA Clipper audience, like I said, make sure y'all smash that like button. Y'all come in here. Make sure y'all continuously donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Get your membership badges that are available as well. Let's continuously support and make sure I get the content out for y'all to make sure y'all have all the access right in y'all fingertips. But let's get into it, man. Let's talk about it. So last night, the Clippers had their first game at Intuit Dome, the regular season game at Intuit Dome, which, by the way, was rocking. The wall, the lights, the atmosphere, the outside court, everything in the Clippers arena, Intuit Dome. Like I said y'all before, this is the best arena in the NBA, hands down. I'm not just saying that because I'm part of the organization, but because, just off of just looking at it, just you have everything that you need at the Intuit Dome. It's in the inner city, it's in the hood, so a lot of people get a chance to really regular Joe people get a chance to experience that. So Steve Ballmer, just like I just want to put out here, man, he just does it for the people. We are the people's team in LA, and it's just $1 billion playpen. So like I said, I just want to give out real quick, but I played a little bit of a clip by Stephen A. Smith from today's show on ESPN First Take, talking about what happened last night. ESPN was at the game, and I played his little clip of what he thought about the Clippers. So I'm going to respond to that shortly, but I want to get into what happened and my thoughts, and why I feel like we won or we lost the game, and what we could have done to win. How I feel about my my feelings about going into this morning. Because it's kind of been a lot of looking, and I had to watch the game over again this morning. That's why I'm putting this video a little bit late out, but here I am about to give y'all all the great content. So the Clippers had an overtime loss, 116-113 to the Phoenix Suns, which went down to the wire. Definitely a very, very, entertaining game, exciting game. So, the people who came and showed up did not get their, was not disappointed, got their money's worth for the game. Just in a nutshell, it was just, again, it could have went either way. Unfortunately, went Phoenix's way. They were able to get the win. So let's get into some of the box scores and stuff like that. If we look at the box scores, if you look at the team stats, Phoenix and the Clippers shot 45% to the Phoenix Suns 48. The Suns shot 39% from 3 to 6 Clippers 27. And then the free throw percentage went 73-70, which I'm going to talk to y'all about in a minute, because I thought that was an intricate piece of why we lost the game. But the Suns, as y'all can see, shot the ball better in all three categories: field goal, 3-point, and free throw. So that obviously something that helped them out. You got the stuff like the rebounding went to the Clippers. They did get on the boards, 51-42. Assists went to us, 27-25. Steals went to them, 12-9. The Suns, and they had 9 blocks to R1, which that's something else I want to kind of bring up about Phoenix. I'm gonna talk a little bit about their team too, because they showed me some things like their ball club that I think, okay, well, they may do something this year. 22 turnovers a piece, very physical game. Like I said, both teams had over 20 turnovers. Some of them were unforced, but there's quite a few that had some impact and some contact. Fouls went to them, 23-29. We had 29 fouls to their 23. The largest lead that we had was 14-10. All right. So that's the team stats. So if you look at the team stats, it kind of, evened itself out. I would say the Suns kind of edged us out, as far as the majority, but not to the point where it was just like a landslide like the Boston and New York game. As y'all come here and smash that like button, man, LA Clipper Talk, make sure y'all, come and smash that like button. A lot of great content, I'm dropping for y'all, man. This is a pre-recorded. I'm sorry, this is not going to be a live, but after the Warrior game, I'll be doing a live. After Sunday's game, I'll probably be doing a live that night. So I apologize for that, man. But definitely gonna keep y'all in tune. Let's get into the team. Let's get into the player stats. Let's get into the box scores. Let's see. Full box score. We got the Suns, and then we got the Clippers. I'm gonna go through this pretty swiftly. I'm not gonna spend too much time. I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna get into my thoughts about what happened. You look at the Suns. All 5 guys were in double figures. You got KD, you got Yusuf Nurkic, Tyus Jones, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker all in double figures. They had a good spread around in the offense. You guys got off the bench. Guys like Royce O'Neal with 5 points. You had Mason Plumlee, who was an ex-Clipper last year, at 8 points. He played presumably well last night. I would give it to him. He did play presumably well. Grayson Allen came in there, gave him some minutes. He did shot average from the field. Had 8 points. Missed some 3-point shots. Monte Morris came in. Had a crucial play down the stretch of the game where he got the foul called by Nicholas Batum, and he went to the free throw line. So, like I said, I'm gonna get into like all the fouls. I know there's a lot of chatter about the Clippers basically got robbed out of the game, and the refs helped them and everything. So I'm gonna get into all that. Y'all don't worry. I'm gonna get into everything, break it all down for you like I always do. I just sit tight and y'all continuously hit that like button. But looking at that, like I said, all 5 guys were in double figures, and that they had even balanced scoring. Most of the guys on the Phoenix Suns were pretty efficient outside of Yusuf Nurkic, who was 2 for 5. Everybody was presumably 50% or above. KD was 8 for 17 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3-point line, 7 for 9 from the free throw. He had 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and 1 block. Pretty good for KD. 44 minutes. He played pretty much the entire game. So that happened. Bradley Beal had 38 minutes. Booker had 32, fouled out early. So we're going to get into that in a minute. The Clippers, if you look at their numbers, everybody outside of Terrence Mann had double figures. Pretty good spread around in points, with the role players like Norman. He had 17. Harden had 29. Zubac had 21. Derek Jones had 12. I'm gonna talk about him as well. Kai Jones had 6. Amir Coffey had 11. I'm gonna talk about Amir Coffey. So was this 5 guys in double figures for the Clippers? I'm gonna talk about some of the players that really. I'm gonna get into everything. What I felt like was going on. Starting 5. You had some guys who, we needed to come along, be a little bit more efficient, like Norm. He was 5 for 16, 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. Terrence Mann was efficient, 4 for 6, played very well. He fouled out early like Booker did in the 4th quarter. And Zubac played how he's supposed to do. 21 points, 9 rebounds, was aggressive, all that good stuff, man. So we're going to get into it. We're going to get into everything. But those are the results. Those are the, stats. Those are team stats. Those are the player stats. And I'm going to get into, what I felt about the game. So, like I said, first of all, it was a very, very high, intense impact game. It almost felt like a playoff game last night. And that's how you want to see. Like Phoenix is our pretty much our rivalry. Phoenix, the Lakers, those are the two teams I would say are pretty much our rivalry teams. Maybe Dallas as well. I'm gonna put Dallas in that situation because we play so many times in the playoffs. But Phoenix, based off of what has happened the last few years with them, how they've been able to capitalize on us having injuries, I would say that's the team that's pretty much be the team that I really want to beat in the postseason. Just off of that simple fact. And every time we play them, they're in our not just in our conference, they're in our division. They're the next state over from us in Arizona. So yeah. So the vibes was good last night. The team, was pretty much smiling, and they were very impacting the game. You had all the guys getting off the bench when somebody to make the call, and things of that nature. So it was good to see that last night. So let's get into like some of the things that I saw. Let me start off with Phoenix first, before I get into our team. Phoenix is a team, bro, I presumably think is going to be better than last year. And the reason I said that is because they added a few things that they needed on that squad. First of all, Tyus Jones was a huge pickup for them. He kind of replaced Chris Paul for the Phoenix Suns, because what I saw Phoenix was missing was they were missing a clock management guy last night, and a guy who was able to help them in the clutch. And Tyus Jones was a great pickup for them. He's not out of control. He's a very, very simple, basic point guard. He gets to his spots. He can, he's a smart point guard. He doesn't really turn the ball over. He just all around very solid point guard. I think he led the league in the point assist ratio last year, if I'm not mistaken, or assist turnover ratio, one of the two, where he basically had a great assist ratio and a low turnover ratio, which is, like I said, a essential point guard. Because when you watch Phoenix last year, a lot of times they didn't really have somebody to really, help them, manage the clock down. They put the ball in Booker's hand or KD's hands, and they would turn the ball over. And that you had Tyus Jones there, that really helps him out. And then also something else that helps him out is that Kevin Durant is not having to play center. I think that made a big difference last night against, why we came up a little short, because before last year, KD would be responsible for rim protection and, having to, defend the rim. Now that you brought in, you got Nurkic there, you got Mason Plumlee there. You got those guys. Kevin Durant can now be that power forward, like, be a forward that's pretty much his natural position, power forward, small forward. And you getting guarded by guys like Amir Coffey, Derrick Jones Jr., and Chris Dunn, took a few opportunities against him as well. You got smaller guys where KD can pretty much exploit that matchup. So Phoenix and their defense really picked up. They look more scrappy, and that's kind of more so, I think, geared toward Mike Budenholzer. He's a defensive coach, former coach with the Bucks. I think their personnel, I think that, guys in their proper positions. Phoenix, I think this is a well-rounded Phoenix team. Not to say I still think we could have won that game. And I think when Kawhi plays against them, we'll beat the hell out of them. But I'm just saying, I think Phoenix has a better team than they did last year, put it like that. But that's enough of them. Let's get into us. There were some things I seen last night that were positive. There's some things I saw that was negative. Let me first talk about what Stephen A. Smith said. He said, basically, and you know what? Let me just play it one more time so y'all can see. For the people that just kind of came in, let me play it so y'all can see it. I'm gonna kind of give my thoughts about it.
What's the future of Harden and the Clippers?
At best, a first-round exit from the playoffs. And that's just being nice, because I'm in a very good mood. I don't want to hurt their feelings. I mean, I looked at the Intuit Arena, which is pretty spectacular, by the way. I would encourage everybody to go see it. But I damn sure can't sit here and say the same about the Clippers. It's not much to cheer about. When you think about Paul George being gone, when you think about the worst superstar in the history of the sport, that is Kawhi Leonard, sitting on the bench, and then all you have to rely upon is James Harden and a bunch of other parts that are to be respected, the Powers of the world, the James Hardens of the world, the Terrence Manns of the world. These guys, they can play. They're not scrubs or anything. And I applaud the coaching staff and what have you. But we know what this is supposed to be about. It was supposed to be Kawhi Leonard's team. And anytime you make that kind of decisions, it's an unmitigated disaster that's in route. It's just that simple. Because number one, he's going to be hurt half the time, and number two, he's going to do absolutely positively nothing to promote your franchise or the sport. And we saw evidence of that yet again last night. In the end, it's about James Harden being the face of this franchise at this particular moment in time. Except as good as he is, because he is good, he's not the James Harden that existed in Houston all of those years. That was one of the most prolific scorers we've ever seen in the history of the game. Shot 10 of 28 from the field last night. There were several times, Brian, when I saw Terrence Mann and Powell and others open, but he was dribbling the basketball and didn't necessarily get it to them. And that's the thing. You see guys jumping around, asking for the ball. Sometimes he makes it. Sometimes he makes the right play. Sometimes he doesn't. It's not a crime. But in the end, for us to be here in Los Angeles, California, for the Clippers to be opening a new arena, and for us to have to look forward to James Harden being the face of the franchise at this particular moment in time, I look at the Clippers as being the team. They could be a 500 team. They could be an 8 seed. They could get to the play-in, potentially to the playoffs for the first round. But we know better than expecting more than that, Wendy.
All right. So again, that was Stephen A. Smith with his thoughts about the last night and the Clippers and moving forward. But I want to let y'all hear something that Steve Ballmer said at the game last night, what he thought and where he thinks the Clippers are going to be. So I want y'all to kind of listen to what Steve Ballmer had to say. It's like a 45-second clip. So hold tight.
Steve, I'm looking at, this offseason losing Paul George. Obviously, you have James Harden there, but do you feel like he's enough to help elevate so when Kawhi do come back, you got enough to actually compete in the Western Conference?
I like what we've got. I mean, I know kind of how people think about our team. We think we can really surprise some folks, get up in their grill a little bit. We do. And, what do we need to be? A bunch of tough, hard-playing guys, and that's what I think we got out there.
Steve, thank you so much for joining us here on NBA Countdown. I feel like you have to sign off in only the way that you can by getting this crowd.
All right, so that was Mr. Steve Ballmer. As y'all come in here, hit that like button. The chairman of the LA Clippers, owner, big boss, billionaire, Microsoft, money too long. Do I need to keep going? That was Steve Ballmer speaking about the Clippers and what they feel like they can do this upcoming season. So let me give y'all my thoughts real quick after last night's game. So y'all heard the numbers. Y'all heard the stats that I read out. Y'all heard, what I was saying, player to player. Let me first tell y'all this. I felt the Clippers played hard and gave themselves the opportunity to win. Several opportunities to win that game last night. We lost by 3 points. We did not have Kawhi Leonard. They had their full team outside, I think, Josh Okogie. They had their full team. We're missing our best player. And to me personally, when they faced the best player on the court, that's who we were missing. And we still gave ourselves a chance to win that game. So let me just be honest and let me tell y'all what I feel. There's negatives and there's positives. Let me start off with the negatives. First off, I think we need to establish something really clear. The offense that we have to make a decision and pick our times to go through the actual Clipper offense and the James Harden offense. James Harden played 39 minutes last night, right? He played 39 minutes. And that includes overtime, if I'm not mistaken. He played 39 out of 53 minutes. So we obviously want to keep James Harden's minutes at respect because last year when we had James Harden, he played a lot of times 38, 40 minutes a game, and it was, pretty much tiring him out, and where he was looking kind of a shell of himself the second part of the season. The first part, he looked healthy, he looked good, he looked fresh, he looked like he was, ready to go. But then he took that dip in that second part of the season where, he played so many minutes and the offense ran straight through him that he wasn't able to, have that same step that he had at the early part of the season. The same part that we had when we were on 26-5 run and then 31-8 run. That's James Harden was a big part of that offense. But it kind of hurt us down the stretch in the second part of the season because he started getting ran down. James Harden doesn't like to miss games. So that really kind of, hurt us. And last night, what I seen with James Harden in the offense was that, yes, there were times that James Harden, did hit some key shots, especially in that mid range. But there were some obvious times where he's actually, not giving the ball up in crucial moments, and he, fell into some mistakes. He had 8 turnovers last night. I think that was the most turnovers that anybody, out of anybody in the game. 8 turnovers. Kevin Durant had 7. So I felt, Harden, we have to find that counterbalance. Him shooting 28 shots to me is too many shots. You got the next guy shooting 16, which is Norman Powell, which is also a negative. Norman Powell, now you've moved him to the second leading scorer on the team, or the second guy that's getting the most shots. That presumably could go north or south. See, now it's going to be, this is what I tell y'all before about moving guys out there, their normal roles. So now that Kawhi is out, now PG's gone, you have Norman Powell to look forward to as being your second guy, second scorer, or the guy's getting the most shots up. That's what you're going to be looking at. So when he has a night like he had last night for 5 for 16 or 1 for 7 from 3, that's going to really hurt, because there's going to be nights like that where he's not scoring the ball, he's not being efficient, but he's playing all these minutes and getting all these shots, and he's not the best defender. I think he competed last night defensively, but he could be exploited because he's not the best. He's not an elite two-way player. I wouldn't even say he's a good two-way, but I think he's just average. I think he's an average scorer. I think he's a good scorer off the bench in the second unit. I think he's a, average defender at his position. So there's limitations there. But now that you've moved him out of him 6-man role, now he's starting, it's a whole different ball game now. Now you're going to expect to get 20. Can you get 20, 25 points a game while being an elite two-way player? Could you do that like what Paul George was doing? Because that's what you're asking to do for right now. So now that, that didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen last night, that also goes against you. But back to the offense, Harden played 40 minutes last night. He took entirely too many shots. And I thought he made some bad plays where he turned the ball over at crucial times. He missed that free throw at the end. Of course, that really hurt. Phoenix had, I think Yusuf Nurkic knocked down both of his free throws. Harden missed that last one. It looked like he was, really tired. He was exhausted. And something that Stephen A. Smith said that was right. There's a lot of stuff I thought that, he said was kind of out of bounds. But one thing he did say that was right there is that James Harden had Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, and Chris Dunn, kind of, waiting around for him to give him the ball. Saying he had 8 assists, but for James Harden standards, he should have double-digit assists with all the minutes that he played. I think he was looking more to be a scorer than be a facilitator. I thought in the fourth quarter, the thing that was working for him was getting in that mid-range and starting, get a smaller guy like Tyus Jones on his hip and allow, him to, hit that little mid-range shot. But that's the one thing I think James Harden had going for him last night. But him shooting 10 for 28, that's presumably 30-something%. That's not good. I thought he shot. There was a long 3 that we had to lead, and he shot the ball. He missed it. And, plays like that are momentum plays where the lead can change just like that. And then Phoenix gets, into fast breaks. They start getting into their, transition play. And, that hurts. So James Harden, game by game has to, be better. He has to know how to manage the moments a little bit better. Now, of course, if he hits some of those shots, nobody's saying nothing, but I'm just watching the body language for some of the players as well. You had Amir Coffey who was, getting hot. That last play where James Harden missed that layup, Amir Coffey was open on the opposite side wing where he could have caught that 3 and made the jump shot. I'm going to talk about Amir Coffey in a minute. But, certain times like that, you might have to give the ball up. I know you want to be the hero. I know you want to be the guy. You had 2 separate possessions, one in the fourth quarter, one in overtime to, take the lead or, tie it up. But there's going to be them times where in the James Harden offense, you're going to have to, look to trust your teammates, especially if you're exhausted. So that's something negative outside. I thought James Harden took too many shots last night. As y'all come here and hit that like button, I thought he took too many shots, and I thought he turned the ball over at the wrong times. And then, of course, the missed free throw, I thought, kind of sealed the deal as well. Another negative I want to point out we gotta know when to play certain guys. I'm talking about Ty Lue. Look, I think it's safe to say that one guy that don't need to really be playing with James Harden is this guy right here, Kevin Porter Jr. KPJ had a very, very, hard, tough game last night. I think what did he have last night? He shot, what's this? He had 13 minutes. He shot 1 for 8 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, 2 points. He did not come in to be, what he was, in that game against, I think was against Sacramento, or was it Sacramento or against Dallas? He did not come in, to perform like he was supposed to. He had 2 points last night. He played 13 minutes. He had a rough game last night. I don't think James Harden and Kevin Porter Jr. need to be playing with each other. I think KPJ needs to be coming off that bench and being the second point guard. Now that you have Bones Highland, who look like he's not going to get no playing time, it looks like Kevin Porter Jr. is that next guy who's going to be the point guard. The second unit, I think, should be KPJ, Chris Dunn, Amir Coffey, Kai Jones, and who's the fifth guy I'm thinking of? Nicholas Batum. That's who I think the second string five should be. A lot of utility players, a lot of defense, a lot of grit, but a guy like Kevin Porter Jr. can kind of do what he wants to do on the second string. Kai Jones, obviously, high flyer, gets on the boards, blocks shots, runs the court very, very well. You got him in the second unit. You got Chris Dunn, who's a very, very smart defender, especially on ball. Kai, like the guy coming off the bench for Terrence Mann. And then you got Amir Coffey, who's a utility player as well. I'm going to talk about him in a minute. I thought he played very, very well. I thought down the stretch in that fourth quarter, he took smart shots. He was aggressive on defense. He was doing a good job on Kevin Durant, guarding him and Devin Booker when it was his time. And then you got Nicholas Batum, who's a smart defender. So those guys should be playing around Kevin Porter Jr. Those guys are young, outside of Nicholas Batum, that can bring in a lot of energy, and it also can allow Kevin Porter Jr. to be offensively oriented and not have to really overthink. But one thing about KPJ he's going to have to do, I think he plays a little bit too erratic sometimes. I think he's very talented, very, very, but he can be a little bit careless with the basketball. I think he's looking more so to be more of a scorer than, a facilitator at times. His shot wasn't falling yesterday, so that's when he should have been looking to facilitate more to Amir Coffey. Give the ball up to Nicholas Batum for open three. Give the ball up to, Kai Jones for the alley-oop. Guys like that. If your shot's not falling, KPJ, you can create and you can score. You're that gifted. So 1 for 8 don't look good for him. He had 13 minutes, which is, we need Kevin Porter Jr. to have somewhere between 20 something minutes a game. That's how much minutes. I think James Harden playing 40 minutes is just too many damn minutes. So, hopefully they can fix that, a little bit in practice. As y'all come here, smash that like button. So those are two negatives. Also, another negative that I did not like was that they weren't giving Ivica Zubac the basketball enough. What did Zubac have? How many shots did Zubac have last night? He had, what do you have? Zubac had 13 shots in 34 minutes, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 for 8 from the free throw. He was pretty efficient. He was really efficient. He fouled out later on in the game, but I was talking to my homeboy about this last night. He said he don't feel Ty Lue really wants to run the ball through Zubac. I think he wants to do this James Harden, experiment to the fullest, but Zubac, he creates so much mismatch around. Like you just signed him into a 3-year deal, right? So you obviously going to lock him in for the next 3 seasons. So he's part of your core. James Harden definitely looks at Zubac as a target, but I feel personally he makes him better, but Zubac can still get busy on that block without James Harden just giving him the basketball. With the teardrop, with the little jump hook, with the post, like he's been working on his game. So I think even starting off the game against the Mavericks last year in the first game, I think Zubac, we played through him early. and we got the elite. So what that does, it opens everything up around him. So that means what? More open shots for everybody else. When you play inside out instead of outside in, you get more opportunities to spread the defense out where they kind of can't guard, because if Zubac's dominating in the post, they're gonna have to double and collapse. So that leaves an open shooter, or that leaves open cutters, or that leaves X, Y, and Z options open up when you play inside out, vice versa, outside in, where you got guys just shooting long shooting long 3-point shots like the James Harden, like Norman Powell's out the gate. So I think Ty Lue, he needs to make it a point. They need to play through Zubac early. And not saying because he's not the best player, but because he creates the most havoc on, against the defense. We've seen this guy dominate Dallas. We've seen this guy in that game 1. We saw him dominate yesterday. We've been seeing him dominate center after center, matchup after matchup when the game is, he's getting the ball. And 13 shots for him is just not enough shots. But he was efficient and he made his free throws. So, that's something that they could take for the next game. So that's some of the things that can be improved on, the negatives. Let's talk about the positives, bro. Let's talk about some of the things that I thought, really stood out to me. Let's start with D. Jones, bro. Derrick Jones Jr. Last night, when I'm looking at, he had 12 points, 5 for 6 from the field, 2 for 2 from the 3-point line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. So I think I told y'all after that Golden State game, D. Jones, I didn't think he scored a point. I said that it's going to be a little bit of a problem if this guy can't hit outside shots. Well, he hit both of his 3-point shots yesterday. Obviously, Derrick Jones is not an elite 3-point shooter. Not even, I would say, even a good 3-point shooter. I would say he's a work in progress. But he hit both of his shots, and he didn't shoot a bunch of three-point shots yesterday. What he did do, he guarded Kevin Durant as good as you could. He, he's very antsy. He was very handsy. KD had 7 turnovers yesterday. The Clippers defense really suffocated Kevin Durant and Devin Booker last night. I thought Derrick Jones guarded him very well. I thought he scored the ball. I thought he had, some great energy coming into the game, starting off in the game. His role is simply going to be guarding the opposing team's best player, who's a forward, or he's going to be the guy that's going to be able to, he's going to have to be asked, in at least in the James Harden offense. Like I said before, we have to establish between the James Harden offense and the Clippers offense, which was more free flowing, more ball moving, more fast break, more fast, all that stuff going on. In a James Harden offense, with him starting in the game, he's going to have to know how to hit shots. And he'll have to know how to, catch alley-oops, which he can definitely do, high flyer. But I thought Jones played presumably serviceable last night. I thought Chris Dunn with him gave him some good minutes, especially on Kevin Durant. See, that was the big key. Kevin Durant was being guarded by Derrick Jones, Chris Dunn, Amir Coffey. But I like the effort that they gave. Like, these players are going to give the effort and on the defensive end. I thought Amir Coffey, especially in that fourth quarter, came out big for. That's why I think he played in overtime. This is a player, like I said last year, who should be in the rotation. I did not like that he was in the third string in the preseason. This guy needs to be in the second string. No questions asked. He needs to be in the second string because he is our quote unquote. He's a very good two-way player. Y'all saw that last night. He can hit shots and he can, play presumably pretty good defense. He's athletic. He's 6'7". He's a lefty. He does a lot of the things that you need to give you those extra possessions and give you that extra, burst. That's what Amir Coffey brings. Like, if you look at the entire roster, we don't have a lot of two-way players. And this is what goes to, like I said before, when you don't have two-way players, you have to take something off the court and put something on the court. So if our defense ain't what it's supposed to be and we have good offense, then if we play like a high-powered, offensive team, but we can't score or we struggling scoring the ball, we have to rely on James Harden to do the scoring, that can put us in a bad spot. Now, let's say that you keep the offense, you lose the defense. Well, shit, they're just going to, keep scoring on you over and over. They're going to exploit you. They're going to overwhelm you. But even a good defensive team, a guy like Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers of all time, it's not going to even matter. He's going to still hit tough shots. Like that shot he hit yesterday in the overtime to tie the game at 113. That was a tough shot. Amir Coffey played as good as defense you can play. James Harden came to help side to try to block the shot, but that's Kevin Durant. So you can't do nothing about it. You tip your cap to him and you just say good shot. But Amir Coffey should be in the second rotation. He should not be nowhere out of that. He's been with the Clippers his whole career. He got playing time last year. He played for us in 2022 when Kawhi and PG were out. This is his time to get playing time. Right? So I was I wasn't surprised. I know what he can do, but he needs to be in that second unit, hands down. As y'all come in here, smash that like button. So those are the positives and negatives that I saw. Grittiness, toughness, fight. But then again, Phoenix, like I said before, bro, I'm not really worried about Phoenix. We beat their ass like without our stars before. We've beat them without Kawhi. We beat them without Paul George. We beat them without James Harden. We beat them without. We've beaten these guys without our main guys. They're like a team that I feel personally don't want to really have to deal with us. They just been catching luck after luck after luck with us not being fully healthy. Terrence Mann, like I said, even him last night, I think one thing that really hurt us was when T-Man got fouled out in that fourth quarter down the stretch. He was all on Devin Booker, man. Devin Booker was trying his best to get Terrence Mann out of the game. That sixth foul, if y'all didn't watch the replay, Devin Booker actually grabbed Terrence Mann's arm where it looked like smart veteran move by D Book, by the way, but he grabbed Terrence Mann's arm, backdooring him, making it look like Terrence Mann grabbed him. And then the ref, with the blinders on, basically called a foul on Terrence Mann, which was obviously just that took us out the game, because now that's a defender off the court. We needed defense. We were up in that fourth quarter. We needed defense. We didn't really need presumably offense. We needed to keep the lead. And the way to prove that is that when we had the lineup, I think of D Jones, Batum, Chris Dunn, Coffey, and T-Man, I think that five that we had a lead by I think 10 points in that fourth quarter. We had defense and we had a guy in Coffey who was scoring the basketball. So when they put James Harden back into the game, that kind of set it back. Okay, let's give the ball to James Harden. Let's defer to him. So I wasn't a big fan of about that last night, bro. I really wasn't. As y'all come to smash that like button. Now, I want to show y'all one more clip about something. I want y'all to kind of watch, because like I said, I'm playing things that really apply to we're gonna be seeing this season, what we're gonna be seeing, because it's necessary. But I want y'all to kind of hear what James Harden had to say about his role with the team and what he's looked to do and all that stuff. So here we go.
Kawhi Leonard out indefinitely. Easy to say he's always hurt and he missed a ton of games since he joined the Clippers.
Paul George gone. The Clippers are now reduced to the star attraction being James Harden.
Man, loud ass Stephen A. Smith.
You see yourself as the man here now as you're starting the season without Kawhi.
I've been in situations like this, where we have not as much talent as as other teams, but then that's when my leadership role has to really, really kick in.
The Clippers are saying their superstar Kawhi Leonard will be sidelined indefinitely.
Injuries is a part of sports, but if it was up to him, he'd play every single game and want to hoop and play 48 minutes because he loves it and he's really good at it. But he don't really give too much information to outsiders. People don't really know, a lot about Kawhi, and I feel like the same about me. So I think we're similar in that aspect, but one thing about us in this sport, we love to hoop and love to be on the court.
So that right there is very important that he said that, because we keep hearing that over and over. You know something? for as many people who don't know who Kawhi Leonard is, they always have an opinion about what he feels and what he's doing. Now, am I to say that I haven't gotten frustrated with Kawhi in the past? Yes. But one thing I've never questioned and I will never question is his will to play basketball. Is his desire to play. I keep saying it once and I'll say it again. There's no reason for this guy to miss time and not want to play when he trains as hard as he does in the offseason. There's no point. There's no benefit. He's gotten his money already. If there was a time for him to walk away from basketball, it'd be right now. He got paid. He got his money. He got his deal. What legit reason would it be for him to miss games on purpose? So you got James Harden, who's right there with Kawhi. They talk all the time, and players, they vouched for Kawhi wanting to be on the court. We keep hearing this whole, he don't want to play and he's stealing money and all that. Now, when you say stealing money, it depends how you put it. Are you saying stealing money in terms of he's basically getting paid not to play? That's something that you can say. Well, but that's something where you look at it as just, that's one point. But if you're saying he's stealing money as if he's basically not wanting to play, but he's wanting to take the money the Clippers gave him, you can't really say that's stealing money because his desire is to play basketball. It's just the unfortunate injuries, and players continuously vouch for him over and over and over. So I'm going to go with that more than, what some ESPN pundit says, like Stephen A. Smith.
You can't take that offense.
This past summer, Paul George departs as a free agent. How do you feel now that Paul is gone?
My role doesn't change. Like my usage rate is going to be higher, so I get more opportunities. Me coming here was for aspirations to win a title. For me, the role doesn't change. More usage and more opportunity to be who I am.
Opening up into a dome as an LA kid, like, what does that mean for you?
It means everything, man. Just being here in like the hood of LA, into it. Steve Ballmer did it. He's a genius. And look at it. Look at this environment. Like he created something special to. As a kid, you couldn't even fathom having this beautiful establishment in the heart of the city of the hood. Steve, he won for real.
What's inspiring you this year as you step foot on the court?
Since we quote unquote lost, or we're not a championship contender from outsiders, that we want to show out and bring some energy into this building and win a lot of games. And I think we got the pieces to do it. And then as Kawhi starts, getting himself back into the mix of the team, and he's just gonna add on and he's gonna just keep getting better and growing. So I'm excited. I think the fans are excited. We got a new establishment and we're ready to get it on.
All right, so let me take this off real quick. As y'all come here, smash that like button. All right, as y'all come here, smash that like button. So he said quite a few things. First off, he said the arena is in the hood. Yeah, it definitely is. If y'all don't know about LA, the arena is in Inglewood, which is in the heart of LA. Like I said earlier, it's in the inner city, so it gives people the opportunity to be a part of it, and watch the games entirely. So shout out to Steve Ballmer for that, man. Like I said, it's a great investment that he did. It's going to bring a lot of money and a lot of revenue back to the team. So yeah, that's definitely a fact that what Steve Ballmer is doing. The one thing I will say, and that's why I want to really talk about, is that his role ain't changed. Well, he said in one mouth, James Harden, that his role doesn't change like last year, but then he says he's going to get more opportunities, more usage rate. So that does say your role has changed. Now that you don't have not just Paul George, but Russell Westbrook is out too, which also people are not really looking at that. A game last night, Kevin Durant, I'm telling you right now, Russell Westbrook would have had Kevin Durant in straps. He would have been scared to put the ball on the floor. He would have been a lot more rushed. Yeah, he had 7 turnovers, but the shot that he made, like over Amir Coffey and James Harden looked to block it, Russell Westbrook would have blocked that shot. Russell Westbrook would have had big plays where he stripped Kevin Durant. He wouldn't even allow him to get to his spots. he would have been speeding Kevin Durant even up more. Right? So now that you don't have that, and now that you lost to Paul George, you are looked more to as the second option. Now the first option on this team. Because all intents and purposes, a lot of people had James Harden as, well, not even a lot, a few people had him as a second option last year, which I don't understand how that could have been, where he averaged, I think, 16.9 points per game. He couldn't have been a second option, but I guess people were looking at it like he had the ball more so in his hands. Well, now the team is on your shoulders. Now the team is on your hands. They have built this team offensively around you. They have built this team building a lot of defensive guys to put around you because you're not a great defender. You're not elite or great. You're average defensively. So that's something that you have to look at. Okay, well, he might not. We have to see what he is throughout the time when Kawhi is not out on the court. Now, it was reported yesterday that Kawhi Leonard is going to be missing weeks of the season, not days, not a week, not 2 weeks, weeks. That's what Shams Charania just reported. So whatever that means, he's going to miss weeks is more definite that's more time that James Harden is going to have to carry the squad. That's more time. So obviously, this is not Houston James Harden. I want people to understand that. Houston James Harden, yeah, I wouldn't be concerned really about Kawhi being out, because that Houston James Harden, a lot of times, he would have the Rockets as the number 1 or top 4 seed in the West, right? Averaging 35 points per game, and then he didn't really have no stars around him. What y'all seeing from Luka is what James Harden was in Houston, and better. So I wouldn't be concerned. I'll be saying, Kawhi, take your time, just wait till you get back on the court. But this James Harden is not Houston James Harden. He needs a lot more assistance. He does not have the same burst off the dribble that he had in Houston. He doesn't put the fear in opponents like Houston, and he doesn't have the whistle like he had in Houston. That's another thing too that people don't remember. There were times James Harden was averaging, like, I think 15 or 20 free throws a game. So that helped him out getting those points that he would receive in Houston. They're not calling that shit no more anymore. They're not calling that no more in the NBA. So it's a different time now. You're going to have to get your baskets, not being the quickest anymore, without the whistle. A lot of your shots, you're going to have to, get to your spots by yourself. Now, one thing I saw yesterday that James Harden was doing that I think he can continuously use, as long as he has like a smaller defender on him, is use Zoo as a pick, and then, use his body to keep that defender behind him. And he hits that little mid-range shot. That's one thing I think Harden is going to use right now, because he just doesn't have that burst of speed to get by anybody. Because remember, before, Harden really wouldn't need a screen to get to his spots. He would use screens, but there was a lot of times that dude would just simply get to where there's a lot of times that he would be basically, doing what he was supposed to do on the court in one-on-one actions. So, it's just a different James Harden that we're seeing, bro. It's not the same Harden that he was, 2-3 years ago, or about 5-6 years ago. So if that's the case, they're going to have to balance his offense with the team offense, because I seen last night when they had more of that running gun and defense and sharing the basketball and ball movement, I think that's when we actually started getting the lead in that fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not really discouraged at all. But I am interested to, see the next, 8 to 10 games, because we do have a pretty tough schedule. We got Denver coming up on Saturday. We have a back-to-back with them in Golden State on Sunday. We got OKC coming up. We got Philadelphia coming up. We got Phoenix again coming up. We got a lot of teams, that's going to be playoff teams that we got to face. So, let's get it on. Let's get it on, y'all. So, hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'll be doing a live after, not the Warriors game, after the Nuggets game. I'm going to do one Saturday night. So, y'all make sure y'all tap into that. Until next time, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull live, pace, out of here like swim web.
I've been all around the world, Japan to Amsterdam. Meals nutritious, lifestyle was vicious, yeah. While these out here tried to hate mine, yet I still stood tall on the main line. Two-step, throwing up their gang sign. Roll around the city, big chain, but he ain't signed. Y'all fake tough, little puffs to my canines. No forgetting cracking at them hit boy parties. Probably had your girl naked at them hit boy parties. Big chains, big flexing at them hit boy parties. Nobody trip, cause they knew I had that big boy on me. Yeah, gang of fast living, addicted to cash getting. Disrespected to getting the ass whipped. Don't call yourself a baller unless your whole clan get playing. You got you ain't working, then you need to plan different.
This on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything.
Yeah, no need for the locks out. Baby got her box out. Just dropped her man, now she looking for that knockout. He did her wrong, then he tried to shame, baby. She was trying to bounce back, so I don't blame, baby. Cause it kick her up, one time fuck her up. A true big homie, I don't hear his name enough. Went through the real movie while y'all snowed on the bluff. Gotta give it up, big homie did his stuff. Now it's all about the bag play. Been around more smoke than an ashtray. Right cheek, left cheek, let her ass shake. On God, I'm 100 to my last day. West side, east side, yeah, I'm both for that. No talking, take off, bro, I'm known for that. 50 M's on the scales, yeah, I'm close to that. Yeah, you on the same mission, yeah, I'm hoping that. Make the money overlap.
West side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything. Hey, this on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything. Throw it up.
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 Throw it up. Yeah, that's too hard. Hey, homies. Yeah. 3-2-3s. 2-1-3s. 3-1-0s. 4-2-4s. Hey, 8-1-8s. Yeah. What we missing? 5-6-2s, I see. Hey, yeah. Give it up. Hey, give it up. Hey, give it up. Battle Cat. Problem. That nigga Dom Kennedy. Yeah. Gotta love that. Yeah. Corrupt. We love you too.